Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So delighted to be back down in Carlsbad area with our great pal JJ here at TITLEIST.
Thanks for
Nice
taking
to see
the
you,
trip.
pal. No, it's a special trip because we only do this trip once every other year. It's not like we get a chance to see new irons from TITLEIST every year. So I think the, sort of product cycle of being every 2 years makes a new product even more exciting to test. And I think the anticipation from you guys to what's new and kind of what's been refreshed is even more heightened in this case. The T-Series, as it kind of took over from AP1, AP2, 3, was a huge success, obviously, for TITLEIST. Most played iron in professional golf worldwide with the T100s, and obviously the extension of the line has just gotten better and better. What has changed in generation 3 of the T-Series?
Yeah, I think over 2 years we're looking, we're gathering a lot of feedback during that time, and Marnie and the R&D team is putting a lot of effort in. And the big things we wanted to look out here were refinements for feel and consistent ball flight. Is we felt, hey, that T200 is flying great, but how do we make it fly that number more often? And that's what we're looking for in irons, is that precision gear. Driver farther, straighter is always great, but that precision, getting that distance control down, getting the descent angle really good on all of them, and really being able to control the dispersion on irons really is what we're trying to put in every one of the lineup.
I love that. We're about to dive into the fit here. We've got kind of all the irons. We're going to run them through. Obviously there's T100, which I love the look of, and the new 150, which I think is going to be kind of everyone's favorite, especially at the start of the fit. T200 is taking what was already a massive improvement in Gen 2. Gen 3, I mean, I love the sort of clean looks. The families, 100 and 150, their family, 200 and the new 350, very distinct family in itself. So I can't wait to try them all, if I'm honest. And guys, I think what JJ touched on there in terms of what we're looking at today, it is those refinements. It's crushing that standard deviation down. So basically you can hit a multitude of strikes and not have your best stuff all the time. But when you do miss those little strike points, the flight window kind of looks the same. The result is pretty much the same. You can have little drops of ball speed here and there, but spin windows and launch, JJ, we're trying to see the same stuff.
Yeah, when we're talking about playing competitive golf and shooting lower scores, it's managing that miss. I'm on the front edge, I'm not, and even on the other side, when that spin drops and I'm long, if I can catch that green and get a part of it and really control that number, really stands out in your score.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, we're going to dive into the fit. This is going to be really, really cool to test this throughout. Obviously, loft progression. We've got 7 irons here. We've got 34 all the way into, we're going to be down at 29 and a half, I believe, in the 350. So we've got our loft range. So we're going to see some ball speed differences, but it's going to be fantastic to see how that standard deviation stays tight.
Yeah, and it'll be really interesting for you to see the peak heights, even though that they're stronger lofts, 100%. Is managing CGs to create height.
Beauty.
First up, T1.
Right.
It'll look familiar from there.
Yeah.
Sole-wise, you'll notice there's no trailing edge drop. So we stole from Aaron. Aaron, this is the descriptor I've been giving the last couple of weeks. Hard lines are like blue cheese. You love blue cheese, you hate blue cheese.
Right.
Nobody's in the middle.
Yeah.
But if we soften things, it fits more people.
Okay.
So you won't feel that chatter.
Yeah.
Some guys, when you get to a hard line, feel it jump. So when we soften
100%.
it and move it, so it's the same bounce, it just gets there different.
Yep, makes total sense.
How's the look at address?
Looks really good. Very different through the turf.
Really nice.
What was the spin on that one there, JJ?
66.
66, so very tight in spin.
So yeah, we have this one, but little thin 64, really solid 66. So we're getting in that, again, consistency where 114, 114, 114, 115. So again, just trying to control all of those together.
For sure.
Now, next up is going to be the bigger change. So Here, T1 subtle changes. How do we just tighten things up? So 150, this has replaced the 100S.
Right. Yeah, that one's definitely more meat for sure.
Yeah, we've added some heft.
Yeah.
Weirdly, we do spend some time on notations.
Yeah.
Marnie has a series of numbers, blade length, top line thickness, offset, that he creates a numerical value for everything. And it was, do we call it 100S again?
Yeah, yeah.
It literally would have fallen between 200 at like 49 and change
Right.
on his metric.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, maybe we should call it 150. Shot before that, 6,000, 61 on that miss. So again, that's where I think when we get the shaft and the lie correct,
Totally.
that head's gonna tighten everything up just for us. Okay.
Yeah. Struggling with the timing on that shaft. Feels light.
Keep it simple. 150 to 200,
Right.
200. Lots of positives on size and shape.
Yep.
The big commentary was feel and consistency.
Right.
So lean into that space. Everything under the hood here has changed.
Right.
From, you'll see from Marnie later, from how this is adhered to where the MI is inside, to the construction of the face, you name it. So take the things we liked, fix the things we didn't. Been really good consistency numbers on tour early on in 2s, 3s, and 4s.
Yeah.
Where like almost, you know, you get those TrackMan numbers like, oh, did it miss that last one?
Yeah.
Why is that the same? So obviously a little more launch.
Yeah.
A little more go.
That definitely had some more. What was the ball speed on that one?
22.
Was it really? Jesus.
Like, I think you'll do really nice with this at
Like
retail.
that to me, from the 100 and the 150, like I felt that kind of similar strike, just a hair of grab, and I just got penalized crazy. That was the same thing, penalized and then look up and the thing's just gone.
Yeah, you get to a hollow construction, you know, with that extra tungsten in the sole, and it just wants to launch
Just wanted
for you.
to go. Yeah.
So I mean,
No,
even
was
that
good.
one, as it gets in, was still at 22.
Still at 22.
22.5.
Yeah.
You know, it's still actually carried slightly farther.
Yeah.
So biggest change, T350.
Yeah.
So
that's sharp look.
we mix so many bags on tour. Over 80% of our bags have more than one model.
Right.
So how do we get them to look and feel
Yeah.
similar? And then how do you keep all that ball speed, keep all that launch? We have one in play on tour already.
Is that right?
Canadian Open, Peter Malnati put a 3-iron
Oh,
in.
did he?
Took out a hybrid.
That's pretty cool.
So this is one that, you know, we didn't get any looks with 300 on tour.
Yeah.
Now we already have a 353 iron in play.
That's very cool.
So if you're looking for high and far,
Yeah. This would do the job. Oh, it's 24? That's very cool.
that was about 17-yard more carry there.
Just 10 miles an hour more than the T100. What, in spin was still high fives?
56.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You know, coming out 124, still having a little spin.
I didn't quite get that one, but that was the same as the second shot with the T2.
24.7.
Yeah, it's just the turf interaction is different, but the result is the same.
Yeah, you were within 7.
That's cool. And the grouping is just the same shot. That's cool.
How's that shaft feeling?
Probably still feels a hair light, if anything.
Okay. So the good part with the Modus is that spin consistency. You know, we're plus or minus 98. How do we go there?
Best strike yet. What was that one?
23,
Yeah.
61, 98 feet of height.
Beautiful.
Really, really nice.
Yeah. That's green lights all across the board for me with that kind of. Yeah, really good. Like even that one wasn't quite as good as the last one, but still felt really good.
Yeah. Yeah, you lost .8 or .9 ball speed. We lost 3 yards.
Yeah.
You make a 9-footer.
Yeah. Occasionally.
Yeah, I think that head awareness.
Yeah,
just
it's night and
tightens
day.
up your start line so much.
It feels very different. I know it's not massively different, but it feels like I'm very much more aware in transition where the club is versus
Yeah, and I think that's,
early on.
you know, hey, for me, it's always feels light.
Yeah.
Which part feels light?
Yeah, definitely.
And so
definitely.
for you, just that little extra mass in the head
makes the world of difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we go there?
Best strike yet.
So like that's the one I.
Yeah. So knuckly.
When you start playing some of your competitive stuff
Yeah.
at 79 feet, you got to make a bad backed out swing.
Well, even like, so this is the first time. So I've actually been carrying 2 and 4 iron recently, and I was playing the weekend, playing really good, but I had a couple of par 5s that I just couldn't hit the shots I needed to hit because I didn't have the clubs to hit them. So I ended up pulling the 2 of them out of the bag for this trip and putting in 3 and 4 hybrid to try and launch it a little bit. So yes, I can't spin a 5 iron at 43, 44.
Well, I mean, it's really even just the ball speed gap.
Yeah.
You know, if your 7's at 22,
Yeah.
you know, there's not enough here for all that to push
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
You know, where you're just giving yourself kind of a.
Yeah, for me, ball speed, I want to be kind of like 33, 34 with 5.
So that's going to just bring this up.
Yeah.
Because even if we're in that range, that speed's going to just bring all this other parts up for us.
Totally.
I think that'll be that part of your bag that, again, when we see it on tour, those are easy button, high launchy ones.
Yeah.
You know, we always joke, this is what we see out of the college kids,
Right.
3 iron. I love it off the tee. I'm like, well, you're about to go play a US Open where you're going to hit it into a bunch of holes.
Good luck.
And all of a sudden, they come up, you know.
Yeah, like 12 launches, it's got no chance.
Yeah. Different?
Yep, really nice shape-wise and kind of out then turns is
it's
exactly what I'm looking for.
But it's the speed.
1,000 more spin, 1,100 more spin.
Yep. But we had 200 go really well.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like after going through the 7 irons, like I already had a subjective bias that I really wanted a 2 iron, a T200 in this kind of area of the bag.
I think we're gonna bump one of your hybrids. My guess is
I'd love to bump one of them.
My guess is we're gonna be 5 down,
Yeah.
and the 4 is gonna be our 2.
Yeah, I'd be absolutely fine with that. I don't know. I just think I would want to have that in the 5 iron. What was that? I was gonna say 105. So same
104.
ball. Interesting. So it was the launch.
Yep.
Exact same ball speed. That's interesting.
You're gonna be on the cusp
Yeah.
here.
And I'm okay with, I mean, we were 54, I think, before. Yeah, I'm okay with 48.
Oh,
Yeah.
off those 2 numbers,
Yeah,
I'm great with it.
totally.
So that's kind of a cool one where
Totally.
you're on it a little
Yeah.
more and it still launches.
100%. I love this thing. I love this thing.
We're up closer to 90, not 74 on that similar shot. We're up up that window. Yeah, sometimes when we get into the graphite, we get that little extra droop.
Yeah.
So our lie progression, we
Sure.
change for
Yeah.
for
Like
folks.
the first one surprised me about how far right it went, and
Yeah.
then so like, okay, just let it go, let the release go a little bit more, and it's still like I was surprised it's hit its apex, went right normally rather than hitting the apex and going left.
We haven't shown you is the new 505.
Okay.
So a lot of the enhancements in the 350,
Yep.
doing the same here.
Right.
So refining the sole, focusing on feel.
Feels great.
Significantly
off the face.
different, right? You know, 89 feet on that one.
Yeah. I didn't realise I was so sensitive to weight. Again, it feels just a hair light. So much more solid. I know I turned it, but just so much more solid.
It just, again, I think that little sensitivity to swing weight is just, yeah, ball speed starts to come back up.
So different.
Yeah, so that jumps up to 136 ball speed, which is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
It's almost a little bit too much spin. So we're gonna recommend the 3-5. 3 weak.
Yep.
5 strong a little bit, and just move that gap.
Love it.
Up.
Love it.
How's that feel compared to a hybrid where you're normally here?
Does it feel off the face or club overall?
Overall club.
Light.
Okay.
Yeah, still definitely get that same kind of slight light sensation in the head.
We have that in a 505?
That was closer.
It's definitely a close, it's a weird one. That was the thought when we were pre-building stuff. Like, he loves it in a hybrid. But
Yeah.
again, I think that transitional in the iron
Right.
is just getting you a little bit more, something a little bit closer to your crossover. Because we're in that 218, we're in that 100 feet.
Yeah.
We're really close in
That one
in
there
space.
was in the flight window that
Yeah.
I'd really like to see.
It's gonna be fun. You're gonna end up in 3 models.
Triple combo.
505, 200, 150.
Beautiful. And you think going 3-iron in the 505?
5 iron, 200.
Yep.
Then 150, 6 down.
Yeah, just overall weight feels better
Yeah,
for sure.
I think just weirdly almost making like an AMT vibe for you as you transition out of irons. Yeah, 99 feet there. Lovely.
Yeah, that one felt pretty good.
Yeah, 101 feet. So you can see just how quickly, if you flight it, that CG
Feeling
count-
that, yeah, I mean that was higher in the blade, but felt fantastic up there. Like
So-
felt really, really.
So like versus hybrid in your bag, where if it's a little toe that gears real hard, that
Yeah.
flat surface,
Yeah.
Where you can stretch a little ball speed, but you're still 100 feet of height. You don't get that one that
Totally.
bite.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that flight. Still retaining tons of spin, even though that's turning a little bit.
I mean, just again, 43, 43, 45.
No, I really like that.
Somebody said that you wanted to hit this in a 1.
Yes.
Hey JD, which 1 iron did we build for him? You can see still launch even
Like
at that
can
long.
easily get that launch.
Now we're going, that's up to 143.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 88 feet of height.
Yeah. Yeah, and turning over.
Yeah.
Like you said, like about Anne, they could feel that just scraping a little bit.
Yeah.
But still, with the iron, it still kind of goes
Well, I mean,
up
again,
and forward.
TrackMan has your attack at plus 0.4 on
Yeah.
that. That was 100 feet of height. That's probably why you like some of the Taylor, that old Sim 3-wood.
Yeah.
CG's super forward.
Super forward, yeah, for sure.
There's the 1-iron flight.
Yeah.
Let's go get it. Really stable though.
It feels really good. No.
Club-wise, we're gonna end up 150.
So you think so? 150 to here?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're gonna jump to T25,
Yeah.
and then 505.
505 at 20, I think.
Yep. So then we're 20, 23, 28.
Yeah. 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 So
it just pushes your ball speed gaps
for sure
where we need them.
I think that's awesome. All right, guys, that was eye-opening, JJ. To go through the 4 new models or 4 models of the current lineup and see the differences in flight, turf interaction, launch angle, and spin and ball speed. Like you said, there's literally something in there for everyone.
Yeah, I think that's where we kind of saw it really stand out at parts of your bag is once we kind of got the sole dialed in, the shaft matched and line angle with that. And then again, at the top end of your bag, started utilizing some of that CG to kind of keep the peak heights up for you.
Yeah, I think what was so cool was even just for me, the awareness of sort of like things like body language on certain ones. It's like, just, turf interaction didn't feel great there. I'll be honest, when the first 2 strikes with T200 and T350 was like, holy, you know what? That was the big one for me, was hitting those 2 clubs in particular, was how crisp and how solid they felt. That was a big change from what I've felt in the past with previous models.
Yeah, and I think that, you started saying how good T200 looked at address after a couple of hits.
Absolutely.
And when it flies like it did for you, it starts to get really, really good looking and all those things. And being able to blend your set is what we see on tour players doing, is utilizing that club head to manage a few things and get you back into a shaft that provides you the stability you like and the feel that you like, and utilizing the head to move it up and down for us.
Without a doubt. The 100 to me was nice, but was thinner in the top line and kind of, just even seeing the amount of loft I could see, I kind of almost feel like the pressure of that. And then when I got in the 150, I felt completely comfortable. Shape-wise, top line, everything about that was exactly what I like to see. And then we started hitting T2, felt amazing. I think 5-iron, I just fell in love with that 5-iron really, really quickly. But guys, the real big surprise out of all the models, we tried all 4 of the new iron models, was this guy, the new U505. I think a lot of people will look at that wider sole, JJ, and go, no, not for me. I don't like those big wide soled irons. That thing was ridiculously easy to hit.
Yeah, and I think that's what we found with you is, hey, this is a part of your bag where you've explored hybrids, but again, we're looking at consistency of the direction and the distance for you, and we really found that extra width on the sole helped the launch, but you're a really good iron player. And so having it in that 3-iron to step you into your woods gave you just really easy heights.
One of the cool things about the fit, guys, was how much JJ was able to kind of pull from his toolbox, the clubs that we have available to us here today, and cater towards what I like and what makes me swing and deliver the club better. That was the really fun part about it, because as we kind of talked, and we've done this a couple of times together now, and you kind of know my preferences and what I like, you're able now to go, okay, well, let me give you this because I can move you towards this position. And going towards that U505, we were talking about trying to get low point further forward and be a little bit steeper. The minute I get shallow and hang back a little bit on it, it gets a little bit squirrely and the ball speed drops down because the strike's not good. When you gave me that, I instantly felt like I could stay on top of it because the club made the ball go up, and that could almost make me go down and get after it at that point.
Yeah, that's when we kind of did that little review, and we noticed your attack angles with hybrids sometimes are positive, even if it's off the ground, causing you to thin it. And then we saw it immediately go to 1 down when you got an iron in that CG in a little bit different spot. And I think that's kind of the thing I get spoiled with working with tour players is I get to see the same player for years. And so when you get that repeat customer, you're like, I kind of know where we're going to go. And you can always kind of tell the swing that they're working on and get that. And we talked a little bit about the stuff you're working on with your team. And it all just starts to click when we get you, again, not trying to get the up with the shaft for you because then the club gets really squirrely. And when we had some of the softer stuff, it got a little left, and so let's go back into a Modus part that's got nice stability in it and utilize the heads.
Yeah, and you very quickly keyed into head weight being something, another sort of differentiator for me when we tried all the different ones. You were going back there, grabbing some lead tape, changing that swing weight, just popping it up a little bit for me. Chris was on the swing weight scale, just again, turning the screws on it a little bit just to really get it where I like it, and it really made a big difference.
I think that's where you're seeing your game now as you're getting to competitive golf is it's a little bit, I always describe it as we're sharpening the knife, we're not remaking it. You know, you've really got your swinging in a really nice spot, so those subtle differences are starting to make a difference in where you know where that club is, and then we change that strike, which changes the flight.
Totally. And guys, that is truly the difference. Like JJ said, when you work with a fitter, and we always obviously, you know, endorse that you do that. If you work with the same one repeatedly, you're going to get that relationship built. And, you know, it's kind of like you've got your car, and over time taking it to the same mechanic, you can develop that relationship where they understand the vehicle. And that's, you know, that's these clubs, and that's me. Like, you understand, you know, what I want and what it takes to make me do the right things. And working with the same fitter all the time, you will get in sync, like you know, we're talking about right now, and you can start to just then get that performance to a slightly different level. It's really cool to see. Brother, thank you. It's always great to be down here with you. You know, I'm really excited about this new line. Like I said, there's truly is something in there for everyone. These irons have always kind of had that shell for people, that gorgeous look. This is another level.
Yeah, and I think you really just see the aesthetic tie in. You know, we're gonna end up in your bag 3 different models potentially.
I know.
And so keeping that look so that as you look in your bag, they look good at a dress, but also in your bag.
Very cool. Well, we're going to get some clubs built up. We're going to get the kind of set, this triple combo set built up. What will be really fun is to do, once we have them, is kind of getting them onto the turf and doing a little like gapping session with them and start to show you guys how these peak heights all kind of complement one another. Launch and spin windows are very tight. Ball speed is right where we want it to get the yardage progression all the way through the bag. So we'll definitely do that once we get back home with it. Really appreciate the help as always, pal. It's great to be down here with you.
Great to see you.
Awesome. Okay, guys, stay tuned for more. We'll see you soon.